those people, they behind the curve.
That's why.
Welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live with your host, Tony Redford, and my co-hosts, LaDonna Sherwood and Francis Larkins.
Knowledge is Power Podcast Live starts now.
Happen to be backstage talking about a few things that's going on locally here in Beaumont, Texas, and we're talking about the water situation. So let's dive in it right quick while we're still talking about it, and then we're going to get into our program. And our program topic is the Roundtable Talk about the Academy Award Oscar Slap of the Year, the slap that was heard around the world. And we're also going to talk seriously about the other couple, the Supreme Court Justice Clarence and Jeannie Thomas. And so let's talk about that. What's going on locally about the water? Tell us just a little bit about the water. We're going to move on, and we're going to recognize LaDonna and Chris Jones for what they have achieved in the local area.
Well, the lobe well is down. The lobe well is down. It's been down for about a week and a half. The caustic injection system is being fixed, which was damaged in the freeze during 2021. We were told in November that it went down to be fixed, we even got a notice saying it was completed, but it wasn't. It's going to be down for another 2 weeks. It is a violation of TCEQ rules to not notify us. TCEQ, sorry. And it's also a very important part of our water system. It regulates the chemicals that go through our water. It makes it safe to drink. So
yeah, it's the first defense against clean water. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me say this, assuming that something happens, I was just getting ready to say, assuming that something happens, let's say somebody's feeling bad or something like this, who should they contact? The city or the city manager or like the water department and then like you say, they didn't even know what was going on when you brought it up, right? Like what's going on?
Yeah, no, when I asked council, I asked one of the council members to get information for me. He had to go back and ask, and then he found out that it was down. So they didn't even notify council. Like council had no idea. And he was just told that the injection, the caustic injection. Yeah. He's actually the one, Terry's the one who hinted me towards it.
Wow. It took a citizen.
I know first off, when I have low water pressure at my house, I automatically know that something is wrong because I'm toward the west end, which really they don't consider that to be Beaumont. But when it's bad over here and you see all those faucets open, they open to try to get all the chlorine out that they're pumping into the system because the caustic injection system is down. What that does,
now let me ask you, but let me ask y'all this in regular terms. How is this affecting people? Like what is going on? Is it like making a rash? Is it like making them feel bad?
I personally have skin issues, severe skin issues, because I don't drink the tap water. I won't do anything. I won't even boil it and drink it, but I have to shower. So I have severe skin issues.
You have to stop, babe. Yeah.
And I noticed when I got in town last night, I was telling Terry earlier, and I hadn't been here in a week, and I turned the shower on, and there was a smell in the water. I mean, it was like sewer. It wasn't chlorine, but it was a sour smell to it. And I wonder if that has anything to do with
still hard.
Okay.
Your water should never have any smell whatsoever. If it does, it is not safe. I don't care what they say, it's not safe. If it smells like the rotten egg smell or the over chlorinated smell, not only is that going into your skin, but when you inhale it into your lungs while you're showering, it affects your lungs. It can.
I was just going to say that can't be healthy. That cannot be healthy.
No,
and it could be years before we know the actual effects of what's going on right now.
And that happens. And if anyone understand that this is what we're talking about, at this moment we're talking about the Beaumont City of Beaumont Water Department, and
And then you have to think, some people, they have children that, let's say you got people that are less fortunate. Beaumont, I saw somebody post, a lot of people living below the poverty level. These people are using this water to eat, drink, and whatever else. These are the things that are affecting children, affecting their growth, affecting their mind. And then you wonder why some of these things that we dealing with, well, these people don't have money to go out and buy a bottled water or put a filtration system on the water that's coming through their house. They dealing with this on a day-to-day basis.
There are people here in our community who have to put their children in that brown water to bathe them. Could you imagine? The city's telling you it's safe and you're looking at it while your children are splashing around in it. There's nothing you can do. You don't have the money to get bottled water to bathe them in. That's disgusting. It's despicable. Somebody needs to, we all need to stand up and do something.
Wow.
For real though. For real though.
Because if you smell it, it's what they call hard water, which means it's raw, meaning it hasn't been treated properly.
Yep.
And that's what the caustic injection system does. It softens the water.
It keeps the chemicals flowing freely and evenly throughout the water system. That's been down since 2021, the freeze.
Well, let's move on.
Well, before we move on, though, I mean, we can't move on from this without.
That's serious stuff.
Yeah,
right. It's serious.
I mean, my thing is this: the long-term repercussions. And then when you go contact the city, somebody and tell them, "Look, it's jacked up. I'm feeling bad. The children got rash or this or that." Ain't nobody going to cut no check or nothing. They're going to be like, "Oh, that's on you."
No.
Yeah. Well, no. What we need to do is we need to start raising hell, and we need to make them hear us. One of the ways it's been suggested is a class action lawsuit.
Well, right. And so part of this, that's what I'm saying. Part of this has to do with our due diligence, and part of that is, again, guys, there is a Freedom of Information Act. We have to use it. We're going off of gut feelings when there's information available to us. If we'll just ask for it and begin to take time to go through it, because it has some of those answers for us.
If you receive it. I asked back in December.
I understand. And we've got to do better in how we do it. It can't just be a one and done. But that's not the only thing. We also need to start looking at what's going on in our communities and taking note of it. Because those aren't, we talk about it's going to be symptoms, but then it gets lost. These are lives we're talking.
Our children's lives.
And so our argument, while sound, lacks facts. And we got to get facts. Because we don't know how to maneuver without good facts. Absolutely. I agree. We're used to protesting. But it's like water off a duck's back. We in this cycle. So can we at least start coming together and say, well, look, what information can we get? What information do we need to do? We've got to work smarter.
Absolutely. And we're still not like the corona consultants.
Right. How long have those systems been off? We need those actual dates. We need to know what was going on in between those times. If the newspaper's not doing it, then we as citizens, we have to start doing it.
And there has to be more than a handful of us. It can't be me and you guys just asking questions all the time and getting answers that we don't even know if they're factual. We know what we're told.
Well, maybe we don't need a whole lot. Maybe we don't need a whole lot. We just need the right ones.
Right.
Yep.
And then we can bring everybody else along on the other day. Yeah.
You got to know what you're talking about when you go to them. You can't go to them and not know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I was called
Terry,
when I went to them. So.
Well, the problem is that the root of the problem that I can see from what I've investigated and found out is that the people who are in charge and the people who are operating our systems are not educated and trained properly. They were hired for whatever reason that had nothing to do with the qualifications of the job.
They tech guys. So they know.
So they're
about
just doing what they're told. I mean, they're following orders. They don't actually know what's going on, and this is not something that can be gambled with. This is our lives.
Yeah. No. And I'm In fact, I'm working on a contract right now in St. Louis County, Missouri. And and I'm working with the environmental waste. And the guys are asking me questions that I assume they should have already know. And these are the people running environmental waste. And I'm telling you, this is not just Beaumont. This is happening. The young man told me. He said we had a lot of people that just retired. And I'm sure a lot of that knowledge went with them. He said, but they just put me in here just because I knew how to do this part. And I don't know how to do anything beyond that.
That's what happened out here. That happened
I was
out
just
here.
about
They
to say
let go they let go like
that's the exact
600
thing
years of
happened here.
experience out here.
Yep.
600
They sure
years.
And that was in a year time span. You lost that amount of people, and you have to understand that's why the system from that moment on has not been the same. That's why you have the issues of brown water, and I could remember like in 2000 and maybe 2006, I had brought this issue up to members of council at the time, and come to find out, I guess like the space where the pipe had corroded, and all that was a cast in the ground where the pipe was, or where the pipe once was. So there was no longer even a pipe that was piping water to my house. It was just the space that had casted around the pipe that was delivering water to my house.
Dirt and all.
Right. Mind you, you have to understand that this is a highly industrial area, and not just with the ExxonMobil and not just with them. You have to understand that there are tugboats that's pulled all throughout the city. You have to understand that there's trains that pull all types of things all throughout the city. You have to understand that even when the county don't, there is pesticides that sprayed all over this county. So
I was just gonna say, you talking about all kind of stuff that might be in the water table or seeping into that.
Right, and let's think about how on rainy days, I'm not going to say torrential downpours where the whole city is, damn near on lock because the storm drains are inadequate. But we're talking about rains where you see toilet paper and fecal and condoms and whatever else flying out of the middle portion of the storm of not storm drain, sewer line, which is supposed to be a containment. So after that, there is no proper mitigation and or cleanup that the city does and or that the state does and or that the county does to make sure that those airborne pathogens that are now organic compounds that we are not going to be able to breathe. And that's not just down regular streets, because I've also seen some of this same stuff flow down through ditches in the south end, the north end, the Pear Orchard,
DD6.
So I mean, like all up along the interstate. So so that. But you know what it's going to take. What you're bathing, like T said, you never know what you're bathing your child in. You never know what you're actually balling out of the water that they tell you. I mean, especially if if you yourself aren't taking samples of your water, bringing it to, independent places where it can be studied to find out what you're actually bathing in. There are some apps I know that gives you allegedly the content of the waters and the chemical treatments that's in the water. And you have to understand, even in the midst of some of the treatments, the chemicals that's used to treat water can cause illnesses and everything else.
And I've tested the water here on occasion, and it's just, regular test strips. It's nothing special, but those aren't coming back right.
Right.
So I can only imagine if we paid to take it somewhere.
But wouldn't that be something that maybe we could start in some community just to get some sample testing? That we know. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I totally agree. And like I said, big bro, these are independent studies. These aren't studies, you know what I'm saying, that the city used to do, because I'm gonna say it again.
Right.
Every block
Used to.
throughout the city,
and that's the other part of it.
As far as like the hydrants used to flow out into the catch basin.
When the city is actually performing their own tests, because they perform their own tests and report it to TCEQ. We don't know what the reporting is matching what is actually happening. We have no idea. What we need is somebody different.
Have we requested those?
It's public knowledge. They have to turn it in. I think it's once a month on the website. Okay. You can go in and look at all of the results. But I mean, I just posted 2 pages worth of violations that are still active.
Yeah,
we don't know what's being truth and what's not.
One of the again, like one of the main violations is the sewer mixing with the storm drain water. The storm drain is supposed to stay in it. Well, the sewer is supposed to be in its containment and pumped to a sewer treatment plant.
Watertight.
Storm drain is supposed to either go to an outfall that's like either at a river or at another catch basin, or like these swimming pools that done dug around throughout the city.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, at least if they're giving us that information on the website, if we have samples, those samples should easily correspond or and have some correlation to that information.
Yeah,
we got a problem
on independent.
According to the results, the city reports,
we're just going based off of their information.
Right, and what the city reports is all borderline. There's a certain level that you can't go above, and it's always right there at the max.
Right.
Because you're looking at it like, come on, that's not even possible. You know something's not right.
Right.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. We also need to go back and start looking at a trend of that. We can't just look at it once a month and go, ooh, that's the snapshot.
I totally agree.
Once you start trending this, then you begin to say, hold on, wait, you can't be that exact.
Same situation.
It's gonna have
the ExxonMobil. There are a few people in my neighborhood who had to recently undergo a situation at a dirty flare at ExxonMobil, and many of the residents, like you said, Perry, are in question. They want to know, what did y'all burn on that particular day? Mm-hmm. And they have signed, petitions to be, in the know, to be told what was released.
And that shouldn't be something that we got to go through a whole bunch of jumps and hoops to do.
Jump through hoops for you to, especially being that I'm a fence line community, and they say, well, when I called, they were like, well, Chris, we reported it to the stand, but you have to understand, everybody in my neighborhood aren't tech savvy, regardless to age. So you got that situation too.
Hey, we got a comment.
What is really going to?
Go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry.
What it's going to take is going to take more than maybe me and maybe 3 other people going up there, because I go up there and I might see maybe within since the council been elected, maybe 5 people speak about it. It's going to take more than that.
I totally agree. It's going to definitely take more than that, and it's going to take
solidarity. We need to all be on the same page, looking for the same results.
And for those individuals that can't be in attendance, we need to have available to them some type of petition that they can sign in agreement to what will be exposed to them, that will be said for members of council.
I've put it out there 1,000 times, and I'll put it out there again now for everybody who's listening. I will speak for whoever needs to be spoken for. All you have to do is tell me what you want.
Here's some comments.
We gonna what it is. They rush to get out of those meetings. We need at least 300 to 400 people to go up there one day and everybody speak.
Yes.
And not worry about no time to leave.
Take your entire 3 minutes.
You got
plus.
the meetings is over when everybody gets to speaking. But when you got 2 or 3 people that go up there, that's not gonna do nothing.
I don't think you need that many though, Terry. I don't think you need 100.
No, you don't.
Depending on how you deliver anything to the members of council, and we have to understand that if we're presenting something, we shouldn't have to request or wait for 3 minutes. If we are requesting to present something to the members of council, then we need to be a part of the agenda. So to bump all the 3 minutes and however many people needs to be there, just like Perry said, if the deliverance is given to the members of council properly, which again, like I said, in a workshop fashion, or something that demands longer than 3 minutes, and each individual and or professional and or testimony that we have, I guess in favor of what we're going to be talking about, those members will present themselves in that presentation within and like said, it doesn't matter if it takes a minute to 20 minutes or to 24 hours. They are there to be
obligated
at the best of us. Period.
Right. Yep.
And we could have a pre-meeting like LaDonna and I spoke of before Christmas. We can have our meeting and then we can go in there with what we need to say. Right. Like the community needs to come together on this. We need to all be on the same page, fighting for the same thing.
Time to stop talking about it.
And we may, we may even, like she said, we might submit it in advance. So we've already took all our 3 minutes, got together, gathered our information, and this is how we feel. We need to do that either before, after, during, or give them some heads up. Look, we coming to this meeting, but we're not going to take 3 minutes because we have collectively took the 3 minutes from 10 people. This is how long we're going to talk.
We want to be on the agenda.
Again, like I said, put yourself on the agenda. If you want to expose what it is that you want exposed to the members of council, and it be completely on the record, request to be on the agenda. Call Miss Angie and request to be on the agenda.
Hey, go ahead, Tony. You've been trying to get your.
Okay. And speaking of that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tony. You've been trying to get your comments out.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the comments that those are watching us and listening live right now, and we do have a couple of comments that we can address this. But I'm trying to get to our really topic for our show tonight. Since we talked about this, we got James Eller. I think you guys can see this as well, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Said we need to make promises to each other as citizens that we only allow council 2 years to do what they say. So if you back a politician one term and get them elected and then they don't do what they say they would do, then next term advocate against them and no longer support them. All these issues can be stopped, yet council refuses to do what is needed. Council can also make council the direct power and make the city manager power less powerful. And then I've got another, I guess she's coming from a group saying, Tricia, I think it's time to talk to Aaron again. Y'all know what that's about. You know what that's about, Trish?
Aaron Brockovich, yes. I had her becoming involved, yes.
Okay, we need to get, hey guys, we're going to meet for about 10 minutes after the show so we can kind of organize that so we can go uptown, downtown with force.
Cool, I'm ready for that.
Okay, City, also James is saying people continue to not talk about local council and telling the truth about what's not been done. Y'all are saying nothing but truth here, so why are people still backing the same individual? We understand that program too.
Yeah.
Okay. He's agreeing with you on that, Chris.
Yeah.
Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I do have another question because it was just asked to me today, and I know Chris and I talked about it. So, is there going to be a parade for Beaumont United?
Yeah, I don't know.
Has one been talked about?
Well, no. I know the Sarah Wellness Group was going to do something. I don't know if that's already happened or what, but I don't know if the city of Beaumont have put together any event.
I mean, I'm just saying, honestly, when you have something as significant as this handed in your lap and you don't promote it above any other city,
I hope that they're watching.
I'd have damn boards at the city limit, home of the 2-time champion basketball team. Don't you think that during the summer you're gonna see a lot of parents going up and down I-10 with kids who in basketball? What are we not thinking about?
I hope they're watching.
Down there thinking. Instead of hollering about a building, old AT&T building, you got something here in your lap that don't even take much planning.
I think the kids deserve a parade.
They deserve it. I've seen white communities do it for their football teams. Katie will go crazy. Let their football team win.
Yep.
Baby, you got them wrong. They gonna pull everybody out.
Right.
Well, guys, we covered it.
Sorry, that's me talking. Okay, let me get off. Bye.
Go ahead, Tony. Get us back on track, Tony.
I'm trying to get things back on track, you know?
Get us back on track, darling.
Going to the hole.
Piss
me off.
I know.
Get us back on track, Tony. What's up?
The topic for the night show.
He forgot what it is.
It's the slap. Now I know the slap that was heard across the world.
Let me say this. Let me start this off right now.
But when I also want to talk about that couple, Will and what's the young lady name?
Jada.
I will talk about that couple.
That sound like me.
But I also want to talk about another couple. That's the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and Ginny Thomas. They got more power.
Right.
Than what we're going to talk about with this foolishness with Will Smith and Jada Smith, or Pickett Smith, whatever her name is. I think, and let me just say this, y'all can talk about it all you want, tell me what. I don't want to talk, this is the last time we're going to talk about this. First time we're discussing this, this is the last time I want to bring it up because I am done with it. When you're wrong, you're wrong.
Period. Across the board.
Across the board.
And let me say this. I feel like this. This is just my opinion. Like you said, the Will and Jada, that was minute. Okay, yeah, he got out of line. It was a better way to handle it. Maybe he should have addressed the man privately on the side. I get it. Sometimes people get in their feelings, they get emotional, and you never know. Sometimes people are going through things. I know sometimes in my marriage personally, you may be involved in a situation that actually may just overflow into other areas of your life that maybe he was out of line, but he was maybe dealing with something else. Okay, so we can understand that. Sure, no problem. But this lady that went to that January 6th rally, she on some other shit. All right, let's get it straight right here, right now. You're not gonna go and participate in no rally to storm the Capitol and then act like you was half there and you half really wasn't there. You was either there or you wasn't there, and what was you doing there, right? And you knew that this was going to take place prior to that slap. It was wrong. We can address that, sure. But this lady going to this rally and perpetuating the big lie and the foolishness, that's a problem. That's a major problem. We're going to find votes. We're going to create votes. We're going to pressure other people to lie. We're going to push the Electoral College to say that what the results are not the results. And we're going to fight about it at the Capitol to overturn it. That's something totally different. Like, I feel like that man needs to go home. That he might say, oh, well, that's my wife and that's not me. But y'all together. You know, what far as I know, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, the two shall no longer become two, but the two shall become one, and all is here. If this lady's over here trafficking in foolishness, you trafficking in foolishness too, really and truly, honestly, right?
Well,
I just want to say, I think that yes, Will Smith was out of line. He shouldn't have acted the way he did, but the reaction to his action is going to cause people to not defend. You know, the next time one of our children is going to be with their wife and need to defend and be afraid to do it,
right?
Because of the overreaction to the action.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, that's true too. I mean, you know, you can't really tell a man how to react. I just think that because of who we are, and I mean, Trisha, coming from your place, sure, but coming from the stance of Black people being at the Oscars, you getting the Oscars, the person producing the Oscars Black, like you should have set it up for all Black people in general. We don't need that next to our name. You know, I'm disappointed with him for the simple fact that you know Chris Rock, right? You've been knowing him for a very long time. If you disagree with what he had going on, first of all, and not to get too biblical, but my Bible tell me to forgive my brother 70 times, 7 times a day. You could have pulled that man out to the side and, hey, look, I don't agree with what you got going on, and I'll snatch your ass off the bone if that's what you want to tell him. But you should have told him on the side. You didn't have to walk up to that thing and slap him on the Oscars. It's a night where we should have maintained our integrity across the board for the group. It didn't look good for the ancestors and the people coming before you and behind you. I didn't agree with it at all. I feel like you might have been in your feelings. You might have been dealing with something else. Your emotions might have been all over the place, and I'm gonna give you that. But it was a better way to handle that, you know.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
and I feel like you could have did something else for our group. We got enough strikes against us, right? That we violent, that we can't keep our emotions, that we don't know how to act when we go nowhere. You can't take us nowhere. All of this and that. We did not need that. We did not need that.
I agree with you.
And then on top of that, it overshadowed other African American
That's my point.
artists,
and it
who were
show Oscar that you know we waited for you this long. We've been waiting for Will to get an Oscar all this time. On the one night that you finally do get the Oscar, is overshadowed by the slap that you did before you got the award. Jesus.
And again, off of him, he overshadowed other individuals. Samuel L. Jackson been in movies as long as I am old, and that night was his first night getting an award ever. And that it overshadowed that.
I'm disappointed in that, because we gotta do better and we gotta hold each other accountable. I can't tell you what to do, and I know I've been black before. I've been black a long time. I understand. Sometimes you just can't keep it to yourself, and when it get on you, you gotta get it off you. I understand, but I don't feel like the Oscars was the place to do that. It just was not. Everybody got their good clothes on. We're not here for none of that. You should not have did that.
Yeah, what you said, he went up there with a dressed up, manicured tuxedo, and he went up there and did what?
Baby, everybody had their good clothes on and everything.
Yeah. 1999 Source Awards. That's what he did.
It set us back.
Did.
It set us back. Yeah,
I think different.
It set him back.
I mean, I'm okay with defending your wife. I'm okay with that. I know how that can be, a woman making you feel. But even if he would have walked up there and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you," he could have walked up to him and got in his face and said, "I want to talk to you on the side." I would have taken that better than I would have taken just you come and slap the man in the face. It's a grown ass man. You slap it in the face.
And walked out and walked off with ease.
First of all, I'm just saying that could have been a setup for something else. Just think if that other man would have pulled out his black card and y'all would have been both up there acting black. All right, y'all, you slapped him. Now he punched you. Now we looking like some damn fools. At least one man kept his composure. He could have walked up to the man and got in his face and said, "I want to talk to you right now on the side." Everybody cut it. I would have understood that better than you just going up there and taking the liberty to knock this man in the face. Really?
A grown man.
A grown man. You should have did anything else in the world. He could have did anything else in the world than that. Like, he could have walked up to him and just told him something real ugly. You know, it's a way to be nice, nasty. He could have told him something real ugly. I know how to cut a person without putting my hands on them. I could tell you something so ugly that'll hurt your feelings so bad, make your mama cry.
If the right look will do it.
Yeah.
It's really going to hurt his franchise.
Yeah.
It's really going to hurt his franchise.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I said it didn't do nothing to me.
Mm-hmm. No, it didn't do anything. And I guess for me, it's why everybody keep going to these different teams. And I guess my questions kind of start from, really from a point of self. And as you say, Jada, you in an environment where you know it's going to be jokes. What about that joke pissed you off so bad? I mean, because maybe it wasn't even the joke. Maybe it was you, Will.
Well, she was.
What was going on, Will? What was going on with you that you felt like you needed to? And then ultimately for us, why did we have to give this breath? We could have seen it and walked on like every other ignorant bullshit we've seen and not giving it breath. So no, it's not. I mean, we want to know, is this hurting us? It hurts us that we giving it breath.
Right. And it hurted us in 1999 at the Source Awards.
Yeah.
How is it different? How is it different now than it was?
Right.
How embarrassed are you for it to happen at somebody else's house than it was to happen at your own damn house. I don't understand it.
Right.
We just started being invited to the Oscars.
I mean, and even on that. And even on that, my thing is, again, why we giving breath to something? I mean, I'm kind of like one of those then too. Maybe we give it more attention than it's worth.
I agree.
Because at the end of the day, I can give less than a damn. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson can still go down on a whole lot of other paths, and still people will wonder, well, why didn't he get an Oscar? Right. That's the Oscars making up for their foolishness.
Right.
Because they wouldn't nominate any of his movies because they thought they weren't the kind of movies that were worthy of nominations. So then, okay, we'll give you a Lifetime, and that way we don't even have to recognize how wonderful you were in in Jungle Fever. You and Halle Berry.
Yeah.
You don't have to recognize that, you know.
But we hadn't really had a movie to reach that pinnacle of standard for Oscars since The Color Purple.
Oh man, come on.
but today we
Color Purple.
That's one show I've never watched. I've never watched Color Purple.
You never watched Color Purple?
No, never have.
Man, I watch all that old crazy stuff. Man. I saw one the other night. Pop Goes the Weasel. The Rage of Harlem. I laughed so much. That movie was back in 1991. And so I said, no, man, I forgot all about that movie. But no, I don't watch very many movies. I don't go to movies, theaters, and I don't even catch them on Netflix. I don't even know how to operate the equipment at my house right now. I have to ask somebody how to turn the television on. Or where am I? And so it's so technology around here. I don't know what to do, but I can operate this.
I think the thing with the Will Smith thing, I think it was more of a spur of the moment type of deal. I think if he had to do it all over again, he probably wouldn't. But as for me, I would probably do the same thing he did, because I know how I am about my wife, and I know certain things she deal with. And sometimes you got to call people out right where they at. No need to wait. What you going to wait for? Whatever I lose by doing what I did, I'll just gain it back.
No, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, that's just me.
Especially if it happened in the street.
I know what I'm
in the streets,
do.
The streets.
It no matter where it's at. No matter where it's at to me, because if you do it to my wife, say we somewhere, I'm gonna handle it right there. Why would I wait?
But how is that? I don't understand that. That's my.
But Chris was doing his job.
He
was doing his job.
That was what he's paid for.
That's what happens every year. He brags on people.
But who wrote the joke?
Like to make jokes, not just about you and
we don't know.
But what made first of all, what makes G.I. Jane a bad joke? Everything about G.I. Jane, I love.
But Will was laughing.
But get this, not everybody knew that she had alopecia. Not everybody
was
dealing with alopecia.
No. And she's been bald-headed for a while.
Just like we debunked the theory about, or the mindset about PTSD, and how we debunked, the mindset about hospice. We're gonna debunk the mindset about alopecia. Not when you have alopecia, not all of your hair is gone. It depends on the level of alopecia that you have. Some people break out in blotches and or spots. Some people just lose hair in spots and blotches. And this is what she was in undergoing. It's spots and blotches in her head. So she cut her hair. And all of it off, so that she would not look like spots and blotches. So we always thought that she was rocking a short fade. I mean, come on.
Any of us can say what we would do and what we wouldn't do until we're in that moment. I don't think we can.
Right, and having really been around plenty of women in my life, hair and women, man, that's the touchy subject, man, and it's not always the same, right? And so I understand that feeling, because as they say, I mean, that's a woman's crown, and so I've you deal with that. My thing was her making herself the center, as though everyone knew she was dealing with alopecia. And hell, social media started making a claim, and it was like, well, damn, no one was even going toward alopecia.
Right. I'm sure all of Hollywood. Know. I'm sure all of Hollywood know.
But enough for everybody to be reminded of it. Hell, I don't know everything about you. Why I got to remember you got alopecia?
Yeah. Especially on the night I'm getting paid.
Right. And then again, put your business already out as a public business. Right? She's already, she's already been in an entanglement.
Right. So that's what I said. Ask yourself why you got made.
So what was so big about alopecia?
I mean, like LaDonna said, with the buildup of everything that may be going on that we don't see. And finally deciding to say enough is enough, America. I'm gonna slap the piss out of Chris Rock to let y'all know. I'm gonna slap the piss out of Chris Rock at the Oscars to let y'all know. Stop playing with. Put some respect on my name. I ain't gonna tell you no more.
Well, really, what he done is not no better than what they call black on black crime. Chris could have said, "Hey,
definitely an assault."
I'm not going to say that about that man.
That wasn't
assault. He said, I'm not going to say that
about that man. Let me say this. Even with the issue with her hair and alopecia and whatever the case may be, we buy hair anyway. Like, you ain't in no distress. I mean, most of us, you could fix that up. They got the spray on liner. You could get spray on edges. They got the one you can pump on and everything. You're not in no danger or no despair because your hair is not whatever. You can make that hair into whatever you want to. And you got money, so you better than most of us in the world. You can get the top of the line stuff to fix that thing and get it going right where you would never know. I would never even know. If she didn't want to make an issue out of alopecia, we would even know she had alopecia. She got millions and billions of dollars. I never even have to know you have that.
Right. But any kind of medical condition will put you in despair. Any kind. Like with men, if we have functions, dysfunctions, that's gonna put us in some despair. I don't care if you lose a finger, you're still gonna be in despair, no matter what kind of illness it is.
Right. But you have to own that. That's what I'm saying. You have to own that because otherwise you're assuming everyone's attacking you and it's otherwise. So you have to take ownership.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, I would also say, I guess like the attention about the illness is okay. Again, because especially in the African American community, we have so many stigmas attached to particular illnesses. I mean, like I have an illness that I deal with 365 days. It's called, and it's so bad it got two names. It's a nerve disease, a muscular disease, a bone disease, a skin disease. It gives you restless leg syndrome. It will make your leg extremely cold. It would take the hair completely off your extremities. So I mean like if that's the case, I got alopecia on my left side, and I should be offended by what Chris Rock said because sometimes my eyebrows are thinner than they are on the left side than they are on the right. I mean, come on, man. Again, this is a comedian. And again, he didn't say anything about alopecia. He said G.I. Jane. And if Will Smith and or Jada had any feelings about who they had that was going to be delivering awards or giving awards on at that particular time, they should have went to the bar or something at the back. I believe my personal feelings. I believe that she was irritated already ago because she had boycotted the Oscars back in the day, and Chris Rock made a funny about it, and he said, "What you mad for? Because you wasn't even invited," and that is even still a sore moment for her. Like T said, everybody was laughing at first until your body language changed, your facial expression changed, the energy in the room changed for you. So that bad energy, it fed into your husband, and he reacted.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Chris.
That's what I believe.
That's what I believe. Yeah, I believe that.
So my phone went out. Did y'all address the lady at the January 16th? Because, okay, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, but is anybody addressing this lady?
No, we did. I need you to start it off right now. We got 15 minutes. You got it.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us about it.
We're going to talk about the red meat, Jenny Thomas, who is the
She acted alone and is separate and apart from the marriage.
No, I don't. I think he knew. I think he knew everything. And he should have recused himself on anything that had anything to do with the January 6th insurrection.
This could explain this in detail. So the U.S. Justice,
Supreme Court, the highest of all courts.
Clarence Thomas's wife
was a regular visitor to the White House with Trump.
During Trump's, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No. Dude, that's going to depth. She was behind the support of the insurrection.
Now there is something wrong with that.
She also financially supported the insurrection.
Now that is something wrong with that. We got 2 strikes against the U.S. Justice, Supreme Court justices. Not fiance, not girlfriend, not harlot, not side thing, not side piece, but his wife.
But when they got ready to vote, and also when they got ready to vote to release the documents from the White House
for many years
to the Congress, every justice voted to release those information to the committee and accept Thomas. Why?
Because he explain why?
That's right.
His wife is in there.
That's right. And I truly believe that she is more in it than we see.
Yeah, than they're revealing. I totally agree.
This boy's had more women problems ever since we've seen him, right?
Who, Clarence Thomas?
He came in with women problems.
He came in with women problems.
Right. Just word on the street. Right. Word on the street, man. No, I ain't with no Negro with a whole bunch of women problems.
Y'all cold-blooded, bro.
I quit.
Especially if it's a bunch of women.
You know he got problems. You know. This boy came in with women problems.
Like you said, Tony. I mean, he should have he should be made to recuse if he didn't already. Right. His testimony should be thrown out, or his judgment, or it should be thrown out because you are in a that's considered a conflict of interest in any court.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying? That's like a doctor operating on his wife. That's a conflict of interest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, American jurisprudence is definitely on trial. I mean, even before we even get to Jenny Thomas, I mean, just the fact that again, I've seen them take less time. I mean, with all this with 48 hours, I mean, with all this evidence, and we damn near 18 months. I didn't see somebody unless 48 hours criminalizing the wrong person, but that's another story in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my thing is, they taking all this time, and so what else is it that we need to find to say that we got a case?
What is the DOJ waiting on? You've got a paper trail. You've got the answers. You know what's going on. It's black and white. So what we're waiting on?
I don't know. I really do believe
you got to understand, if we don't get this thing done by next year, this time.
That's why I was saying I believe that this DOJ may be compromised. And I'm not gonna say on the efforts of trying to get things passed or judicial oversight. I'm not talking about that, but I mean, like, y'all have to look at the not just the things that they aren't doing, but like look at the things that the Department of Justice is doing. Like, I mean, and not just based around the insurrection. I mean, you have judges, you have local, you have circuit judges. Man, come on, y'all. Y'all have county judges that are sentencing people, and they're not even supposed to do that. You have county judges that are looking into criminal cases, and they're not even supposed to do that.
Wow.
You have like issues that are going on against judges where people are seeing a direct coalition. I'm like corrupt coalition between attorney and judge. They're reporting it to the state. The state brings it to the Supreme Court. The state Supreme Court is not doing it. Man, come on, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, y'all. Man, you have people that are going, I mean, like, whose insurance cases, whether it's a car insurance or accidental insurance between a corporation, you have judges that have no prudence over that, and they are making judgment in these particular cases. So clearly, whenever that situation brings itself back around to the Department of Justice, finally they're going to respond. But by then, I mean, like, how long had you had to wait for a corrupt judge to get, put out of his seat that took them scrutinizing the state Supreme Justice? I mean, come on, man. Man, yeah.
Okay.
And they're giving the new appointee a hard time, and man, y'all know what that's about. We already know what that's about. One, that she's a woman, and two, that she's a black woman.
Yeah.
She's gonna get in. She's gonna get in. So that's a plus, but it won't make that much difference because the court is so unbalanced.
The court is biased. The court is biased already, especially when you get to Supreme Courts and justices. Those courts are biased because you have most of those appointee, most of those individuals aren't appointed by the community or anybody or nothing of that nature. These aren't elected individuals. These ain't appointed individuals from a national synopsis. These are party individuals who put their individual in the party situations and blame it on it being a process.
Yeah. Chris, you made a point. You made a great point. We made a point. But our time is up. And we're going to hold on to, guys, we're going to stay backstage for this discussion. And we're going to come back Tuesday. Our podcast Tuesday is going to be the results from what we're going to, our attendance at the Baltimore City Council with our petition, and we're going to voice our opinion on the water issue here at Baltimore, Texas. So our show is going to be about the Roundtable Talk. Going to come back on Tuesday. We're going to talk about the results, and we're going to talk about how we're going to finish this off. With that said, we had a good evening. I had a good talk. Great, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you for watching Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Be sure to like and subscribe to all Knowledge is Power social media pages.